Everybody. So the next day after my buddy came over and we pressed the wine or our grapes, and we put it in my 300 liter tank. It's a variable level, which are great for this type of application. I never know exactly what I'm going to end up with, down to the gallon. It's about 54, 55 gallons of Old Vine Zin. Really happy with it. I got my bricks down to where I wanted them. The temperature stayed consistent the whole time. The pressing went really good. I think we actually got more juice wine out of the must than I expected. The lid's holding well. We hooked it up to our monitoring system. So for right now, I just have it checking the temperature. It's still a little warm from processing it. It's right now at 69 degrees, and I have no heat in the room right now. And the room temp is 66. Ideally, I'm going to keep the room at about 60 to 62 all winter long, and we'll take it from there. And at some other video, I'll go over the system that we made. But it auto corrects. It's great. One of my friends made for me. Now the project today is I need to finish cleaning up everything. Last night we finished up around 9 o'clock. It's dark outside. I like to make sure I clean up all my equipment really well before storing them for a long period of time, especially the press that I only use it twice a year. So when I put it away, I want to make sure when I take it out the next time, it's all I have to do is just wash it again. I'm not scrubbing anything. I'm not trying to super clean it because I've already done it. And that's just something you need to do when you're working with some sort of food grade anything. But this is what we ended up with after our pressing. So this is about 650 pounds of grapes that we compressed. So we call it the cake. I'm sure there's a better term for it. So this is part of what I didn't want to clean up late last night. So I always put on gloves and I bag it up. But this year, since we're out on the property, we're going to feed it to the animals in the area. I'm just going to put it out and see what comes by. We've never done that before, so that'll be exciting for us. But, all this needs to be cleaned, and I'll clean it with filtered water, and then I sulfite everything, and then actually I put fans on it. Then make sure just everything is dry before I put it away. And I'm going to actually store the press and all the wood cage. I'm going to put it in the climate controlled room just so I know it. Best case scenario, it stays super clean for me. All right, so I'm going to get to it. This project is always a little nicer with a couple people, but it just got too late last night, and he was nice enough to help do everything, and I just wanted to do it right, and that takes daylight to do it. And we had to grill out. I had to feed them. All right. Hey everybody, basically done cleaning up here in the wine room area. Got my press over here drying, sulfited it all. Got a fan going in the room just to dry everything out. Started moving stuff now into the cold storage area or climate controlled area where, you know, just there's room in here, so stuff we don't use every day that, you know, not necessarily need to be in climate control, I can stick in there. Probably end up putting some shelves in here to put some of the pitchers and some of the chemicals and stuff at some point, but time to stop playing with the wine and get back to other projects outside. So, storm coming in an hour or two, and want to get some of the yard cut. But I am going to be cutting around the puddles. Alright, well, I'm going to shut all this down, and it's just going to be probably for the next week or so. I'm going to probably check a couple times a day, make sure all of the pressure's kept, or the airlock is kept inside of the vat, and just monitor it, and if it needs something I'll handle it at the time. But right now it's easy street for a little bit. Like the first week, 2 weeks of you getting grapes, that's when everything happens for the most part. You make or break your wine, and you don't know for 8 months, a year. So this is the most critical time when you're making your wine. Alright, wine room's all wrapped up. Wine is under the airlock in here. It's actual wine now. The press is drying. I got all my wood blocks cleaned up, sulfited, vacuumed up everything, mopped the floor. There's still more work to do in here, but now that the grapes are under the airlock, I can now get it dusty in here again if I had to. So I still need to put the trim up and this and that, but I am going to take care of trying not to do that. So yeah, one small project done on our big project. Thanks for tuning in with Sparkle and I making our wine. Off to the next small project on our big project.